Well, ain't you just a darndest little thing? Where'd you come from? I take it over there. Hello, everybody. My name is Matt, but you may know me as Lazy Urchin. And today I want to talk about a fun thing that's been taking over my brain recently. Pokemon Caos, or Chaos. You can see the details on screen. I'm going to try and tell you why it's a fun ROM hack, why I like it, and why I think you should play it. It's a great time. The only downside is, it's all in Spanish. And I don't understand a lot of Spanish. So, let's get into it, shall we? First thing I'd like to talk about is the Pokemon. It's a fusion ROM hack. You could probably tell by the weird green thing I was holding, but that weird green thing is Saul, my Torchitar. He's one of the three starters. It's Torchic and Larvitar, and then you got Trico Aeron, and then Mudkip Elekid. But it's a bit odd, but yeah. Saul, it's funny. I started the save file so long ago. I know why I called him Saul because a friend of mine was like, "Hey, you should call it Saul after Saul Goodman," and I was like, "Why not?" I was tired at the time. I'm kind of tired now. But anyways, moving on. We have Lotwick, which I named Yo Mama because I was even more tired at the time. I thought it was funny. Those two really, like, if it weren't for Torchitar, for Saul, then Lotwick would have been 100% like my starter. Like, if I was challenged to not use the starter, I would use that, because it was great. Ghost Water, it's pretty darn good. Evolution. Torchitar and Lotwick become Kombupitar, or Kombupitar, and Lompent. And you may see this Tentacruel fellow here. We'll get into him in a second. Well, the second has gone by, at the very least, and I guess I'll get into it. I forgot to put it in earlier, but you can go back in the video. I really can't. If you look at the thing where I was talking about the Lotwick that I caught, you can see where its dex entry says like Fusion de Litwick e Lombre, Lotad or whatever. I don't know Spanish. I'm very bad with Spanish. Anyways, there's also mutations, they're called, where the Pokemon is either just an extreme, like, not not like not advanced or enhanced, but like furthered along. So like Tentacool had little, where its red little like head orb gem thingies would be, it was little electric yellow things sticking out, and it had electricity around its tentacles. They're they're almost like a regional variant, which is where the comment by Tentacruel comes in, because that really does look a lot like the Blazing Emerald regional Tentacruel, just like a lighter blue. But yeah, I forgot to put in a mutation, but there'll be one later so you can see it. But I figured now would be the best time to talk about that, so let's get back to the normal stuff now, shall we? I lied, there is no normal stuff. It's time for some designs. Woo! Now, believe me, these are some of the less weird or questionable ones. Duskull Haunter is phenomenal. It's grand. They ruined it with the evolution, though, unfortunately. Zang Viper is awesome, and also the Viper is fused with a Torkoal, and that is just grand. Like, it looks so fucking cool, dude. Snorlax and Flygon. Not much a fan of it. Especially if you see the little Flygon eye coverings as the eyes itself, doing like the Tex Avery eyes pop out of head thing. Caterpie Gyarados. It's fun. It's horrifying, but it's fun. That's really the spirit of this. Uh, Heracross and Cranidos. That thing is fucking awesome. I love that. Like, honestly, I wish that was a real Pokemon design. That feels like a real Pokemon design. Maybe from, like, more modern day, but still. And then there's Weavile Azumarill. I love this design. It's grand. It's great, honestly. Crown me King of the Degenerates all you want. I fucking love this design. Especially if you, like, imagine the little Azumarill body as being, like, a little puffy dress. Kind of like, I think it's Victorian, just ballroom dresses that are just incredibly round, that had, like, the big, almost like top of a bird cage underneath them to support the giant dress. If you think of it like that, with, like, the big puffy collar, and then you think of the white parts of the Weavile hands as, like, little gloves, it's just phenomenal. Like, I'm a weirdo. I am. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What am I doing here? I don't belong here. Anyways, I'm weird, but I adore this design. Moving on. Before I go any further, I want to talk about this little house. Anybody that's played Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald before knows that that's not normally there, especially when you realize that that's one of the gates to go to Evergrande City, or more specifically, the Pokemon League building. Don't know why they called it Evergrande City, but yeah. Inside that house, you'll find the creator of the ROM hack. Uh, he'll say some stuff to you. I forget what he says. I could boot up the game and check, but then I'd have to Google Translate it, and then it would probably be really bad and wrong, like incorrect. So just play the game and find it yourself. I don't know. It's a cool thing though. Cool little Easter egg. Like, hey, I'm the one who made this game. Good luck before the Elite Four or whatever. But yeah. And speaking of the Elite Four, Steven Stone, the final challenger, because this game, unlike what the download website that I used will say, was based on Ruby and not based on Emerald. So, Wallace is the 8th gym leader and Steven is the champion. Uh, this message is just, it's nice. It actually did make me just like kind of die a little bit inside, and didn't realize how much it would affect me until now. It is, let's see, as of time of recording, it is 12:46, Thursday, March 30th. I have been done with the game for, let's see, I want to say 4 days now. It might be 4 days. If not 4, then like 3. Let me see. It has been... Breh. It's been, only 3 days. Oh well. On March 27th, 2023 at 6:10 p.m., I had been done with the game for, I want to say, about half an hour. If not 30, then like 40 minutes. And now, after that, it's like, well, shit, now what do I do? Because it's like, oh, I'll play some, I'm kind of bored. I'll play some Pokemon Chaos. Oh wait, I can't, because I beat the game and I already did like the Reggies and stuff, and I'm not completing that Pokédex. But yeah, just bienvenido al final de Pokemon Caos was just wild to me, honestly. Quick shout out time. What's up, fucker? How you doing, Medley? I saw you subscribed earlier. You might watch this. I don't know. Did you subscribe and ring the bell? I'm not gonna be obnoxious about that, but still, like, it's cool to see someone I know subscribed. That's funky to me. Yeah, shout out to Medley for being upset about Tropiator's existence. Let's get into that actually. That creature known as Tropiator. Let's get into that. So, with my team, the last two spots being legendaries feels like it shouldn't be allowed for any sort of actual thing, but at the same time, Groudogre really only had water moves, and Sablesteel had two attacking moves, and those were because I taught him TMs. Before I taught Sablesteel any TMs, it had 0 moves that did damage. It had Spite, it had Double Team, it had, I think, Endure, and it had, like, one other ghost move that did no damage, and it wasn't, like, a status move. And it sucked. But yeah, I didn't want to go out and just, like, randomly fly somewhere and catch something and level it up. Shoulda, though. Wish I knew where that, I wish going back, like, looking back on it now, really wish I knew where wishing I knew where, like, Azumavile, or, like, fucking, the Heracross, Cranidos was. That, the Azumarill Mawile, something cool like one of those. Wishing I knew where, like, those two were, or, like, one of the other starters, maybe. If I had found something else cooler, I would have used something else cooler. But no. So I ended up using a mostly useless legendary and the story legendary. But yeah, I tried my best with my team to only use Pokemon that A, I liked, and B, felt like they could be giant monsters in, like, a kaiju movie. So, of course, Blazitar, that's literally just burning Godzilla, but mixed with a bird. Ludalure, that thing is just funky. It looks like it could be a ghost monster in a kaiju film. Linunicle, that thing just looks like a mech piloted by the humans. Tropiator, I feel like rather than being able to fly with the little wings, I feel like if they were usable as wings, but more often used as arms, that would be cool. Groudogre, that thing just looks like the ultimate bad guy, like the Ghidorah to Blazitar's Godzilla. Like, just pair those two up in your mind real quick. That is just a kaiju movie rivalry. And then Sablesteel, it is what it is. I kind of gave up at that point. But yeah, starter, something I caught on one of the first routes, something else I caught on one of the first routes, and then 3 really late game mons. It was a wild team. Also, Tropiator knew Thunder, the 110 base power, 70 accuracy electric move, which was like, oh, okay. That was when I caught it. Not even, like, with a TM or anything. That was when I caught it. It knew that. And combine that with Ludilure having Rain Dance, it was like, ooh, very nice. And then I got Groudogre, which just got Kyogre's ability of setting up essentially permanent rain. And it was like, ooh, extra nice. But enough talking about my team. Let's get on with this. So we're back at this guy for a split second because we're going to talk about the champion battle. And here is where I will take, like, a solid 30 seconds, maybe, to say, if you don't want to get the final battle spoiled, Then here's your spoiler warning. I'll give you 30 seconds after this. So ready and go. Remember, this is your 30 seconds. We're at 7 right now. If you don't want to get spoiled, you best leave. We are at a solid 15 seconds, halfway there. 20 seconds. Did I tell you you look lovely today? I don't know if that's true, but you probably do. And there we go. Now, if you are ready, step forth and take this champion's challenge. Starting off the battle, he sent out Latiogros, which was not that much of a challenge considering my starter was a fire type with eruption. Kind of a broken move to give it, but it is what it is. I love the design, honestly. It's a phenomenal design. It's great. But moving on, it's Kyogdon. Wish we had this thing instead of the one we actually got, because this thing is way cooler. Look at that. It's awesome. I love that thing. But yeah, moving to the third. The third is Rayquaxis. Rayquaza Deoxys Fusion. And funny story, there's actually a way you can get this. If you know the town with like the digging maniac where the younger brother gives you dig, there's a place you can go up on the waterfall where you can find Zang Viper. And then there's a cave, and if you go into the cave, you go to the top of Sky Pillar, and you can encounter that thing at level 75. But yeah. Next up is Groudogre, and I'm gonna be honest, his is so much better than the one you get. I don't know if it's just like IV trained or what, but it was so damn tanky. Because of the ability, it was just constantly raining, so Woogoliath could use Thunder a zillion times without having to worry about accuracy. But at the same time, it took like 3 billion years, because he saved his full restores until this one. So he just kept full restoring, because 2 Thunders, one would get it down to the yellow, or like one would get it down to about half kind of thing, and then the next one would get it down to the red, and then he'd full restore. It was so annoying. And now for an annoyance that was actually on our side. Because of Paradoxero's terrible moves, I gave him a bunch of TMs, and he had double team, but instead of endure, I gave him focus energy. So I had him double team 3 times, because as we all know, if you double team an even number, they'll hit, but if you double team an odd number, they'll never hit you. And I used focus energy and then just kept on chipping away. And it did horrible damage, but it did kill the Deox too, and that was great. And now for the very opposite. This unholy thing made me so unbelievably angry, because with the stupid Groudogre ability of infinite rain, essentially, all fire moves were weakened. By that, like, I think it's 50% damage reduction, not boost. I am half asleep. But because of that, fire type moves were doing no damage. This thing was either a Psychic Grass, Psychic Ice, Dragon Grass, or Dragon Ice. But no matter what it was at least a half of it was weak to fire. But fire did no damage because of the rain. I hated this thing. This thing took longer than the Groudogre, even though the Groudogre had like 2 full restores and like 3 times I missed. This thing still took longer. It was so annoying to deal with, but Jean pulled through and it was great. And then it was over. The champion had been defeated, and I was reigning atop the Hoenn region with my group of horrific creatures. And it was great, honestly, but at the same time, really did feel like something was missing, but whatever. This has been Matt, otherwise known as Lazy Urchin, and I'll, well, not fucking see ya. I'll fuse and see you later, I guess.